Good evening, I'm Adrian Arsenault.
And I'm Andrew Chang. Tonight, the UK first up for the vaccine, the same one coming to Canada.
It could make a difference to our lives from now on, couldn't it?
A day of hope, but with a warning.
In an ideal world, the systems would already be in place.
How ready is Canada for the vaccine's logistical challenge?
The writing was on the wall after Thanksgiving.
Alberta toughens up its public health measures.
And the pandemic boom in backyard rinks.
You can get pretty fast if you go in circles.
Making the best of a hockey lockout. This is The National. After nearly 9 months with not much to celebrate, this morning an entire nation stopped to watch and give thanks for one nurse giving one patient a needle.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything run-of-the-mill about it, because today the one thing that can beat the pandemic went into the arm of a British grandmother.
I'm happy it's happened.
The first dose of the Pfizer vaccine rollout, the first to be approved by Western regulators. At best, this is the beginning of the end, but billions of doses will need to follow. Farah Morali gauged the mood in the UK, where today represented an injection of hope.
Just going to be squeezing your arm, okay? Okay.
At age 90, Margaret Keenan didn't expect she'd be making history. Her vaccination was just the first today. Across the UK, thousands were vaccinated, from Glasgow in the north all the way to Portsmouth in the south. The first to be called, those who live and work in care homes, frontline health workers, and seniors over 80.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Hari Shukla and his wife Ranjan got the call 2 days ago.
Now we feel safer, There was no fear in our minds, no concerns, Everything went very smoothly.
Also among the first to be vaccinated, 81-year-old William Shakespeare, who goes by Bill.
It could make a difference to our lives from now on, couldn't it?
You're quite emotional about that.
Well, it's just, it's been such a tough year for so many people. And
on national television, the UK Health Secretary broke down as he heard Shakespeare speak, but he urged caution too.
I've still got this worry that we can't blow it now, Piers. We've still got to get the vaccine to millions of people.
How's that?
A message that was echoed by the British Prime Minister today.
The virus is, alas, still rising in some parts of the country. It's a very, very exciting moment, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
And a lot of logistics to sort out too, like how staff will vaccinate those in care homes when the vaccine must be kept in ultra-cold storage. The UK also doesn't have enough of the Pfizer vaccine. Still, on the streets of London, a sense of optimism on what's being dubbed as V-Day here.
I'm keen to get it. Yeah. I feel ecstatic. I can't wait for 2021. Bring it on.
An optimism shared by Keenan, who turns 91 soon.
Hopefully it will help other people come along and do as I did.
She calls her vaccination an early birthday gift. Farah Morali, CBC News, London.
Now, more news on the vaccine front for a front-running candidate developed and tested in the UK. A peer-reviewed study shows the AstraZeneca-Oxford vaccine is around 70% effective, but more research will likely be needed to support the idea that the vaccine is more effective with a lower initial dose, a finding the company had stumbled across by mistake earlier in its trials. Canada has ordered 20 million doses, which, if approved, would be cheaper and easier to store than the Pfizer vaccine.
Dry runs are underway right now to get that temperature-sensitive Pfizer vaccine to Canada. Boxes of dry ice were shipped yesterday, and their temperatures are being recorded en route.
They were flying from Belgium and through different nodes, transfer points. They will make it to Canada in the next day or day after.
The initial 249,000 vaccine doses will head to 14 locations across the country that are capable of storing them below minus 70 degrees Celsius. So that is all just the beginning of the complicated, meticulous process of vaccinating Canadians. And as Christine Birak explains, one part many experts consider crucial is still being built.
When the first COVID vaccine dose goes into the arm of a Canadian, it'll push new information into a vast web of data. Not just who got what shot and when's the next dose, but who felt side effects and, based on overall health, who should be vaccinated next.
So we'll have to sort of come up with an alternative information system just for COVID vaccine.
Experts say that data lives in a dynamic vaccine registry.
And we don't have one of those in Canada.
Instead, each province and territory has its own system for tracking immunizations. Most, but not all, use a registry called Panorama,
a digital health solution.
But even those systems don't really speak to one another, a problem data scientists are currently working on.
One thing that might be a saving grace is that we don't have all the vaccines right away. We're going to get it in batches, so we could slowly build up what this registry would look like.
All that detailed data also needs to feed up to Health Canada so that experts can monitor countrywide vaccination coverage, track safety and effectiveness, along with trends in certain populations.
We can look to see if individuals who receive the vaccine are more likely to have certain side effects than others from the vaccine.
Health Canada insists there's monitoring in place, but more is coming.
We are also looking at augmenting the information technology platform as needed to support this sort of network of different systems at play.
In an ideal world, the systems would already be in place, but we just have to do the best with what we've got. So fingers crossed.
Experts say it helps that the first batch of vaccines will go to seniors and healthcare workers. Both those populations can be easily monitored. Come spring and summer, things will get trickier. Public health officials will have to track and identify who's next in line and which vaccine they should get. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
Okay, now I want to bring in Dr. Isaac Bogosh, who is an infectious diseases specialist, but also a member of Ontario's Vaccine Distribution Task Force. And Dr. Bogosh, can you help me understand how fine a level of detail you get into when helping to decide who gets the vaccine and when?
Yeah, it's a great point. So I bring a medical and a scientific voice to the table. And certainly we've heard the task force already announce yesterday who the priority populations are going to be. This is very reflective of the federal guidance, so targeting the priority populations of Indigenous communities, certainly frontline healthcare workers and people who live and work at long-term care facilities. But in addition to that, I think it's also important to note that it was announced that they're going to look at those populations, especially in heavier impacted areas of Ontario. So, for example, Peel and Toronto and other regions that are either in the red zone or under lockdown in the gray zone.
And I guess as the hotspots change, the rollout plans could change too.
Absolutely, and that's going to pose some logistical challenges, as you can imagine, because we certainly have, at least up front, a limited supply of vaccine. But certainly as we get more and more access to vaccine, I think it'll be easier to roll these out, especially prioritizing those populations in the most heavily impacted parts of Ontario first, and then, of course, to everybody else as we have more supply.
All right, Dr. Bogosh, good to talk to you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Now, vaccine makers Pfizer and Moderna declined to attend, but Donald Trump held a vaccine summit today, touting the efforts of his administration.
Nobody thought it was even remotely possible to do what we've done in a period of less than 9 months.
The summit was meant to lay out a plan to get the vaccine to Americans, but also notably absent anyone from Joe Biden's incoming administration. U.S. regulators are expected to approve Pfizer's vaccine later this week. Russia started vaccinating people on the weekend as it pushes its Sputnik V vaccine to market. But as Chris Brown explains, it's hitting a major hurdle already. Many Russians don't want it, at least not yet.
The vaccine called Sputnik V has already been jabbed into thousands of Russian arms, even though it's still in phase 3 trials. Those most at risk, such as Dr. Olga Moskova, were among the first to volunteer. Later, the vaccine might be perfected, or maybe there will be other vaccines. But right now, she says, this is the right thing to do. The clinic our crew visited is planning to vaccinate 60 people a day, and there are 70 such clinics around Moscow. The first shot is followed by a booster 21 days later. I hear a lot of opinions about the vaccine, said Chief Dr. Natalia Kuzenkova, but my responsibility is to tell people if they haven't been sick yet, they could still get sick and die. For the Putin government, the prize of being first with a national vaccination program is bragging rights to being a vaccine superpower. Every time a Western nation has come out with some kind of good news, Russia's followed with even better news, sometimes just a few hours later. And that drive to be first has led to skepticism about just how safe Sputnik V is and how well it will actually work. It's not just people in the West who are leery. On the streets of Moscow, we found significant resistance from Russians too. I don't totally trust this vaccine, he said. The trials usually take many years. Here, it's too fast. There's hardly been any time given to test it properly. One doctor we spoke to said only 20% of his patients were prepared to get jabbed right away. Most want to wait and see what happens to those who get it first. But Russia can't afford to wait. COVID cases are still surging, and with authorities balking at lockdowns to control the outbreak, getting massive public buy-in for the new vaccine is essential. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
Jason Kenney told Albertans today they are getting more public health measures. This for a province where measures have been relatively light and come relatively late, all in a place where contagion per capita leads the country. 1,727 new cases today alone and a positivity rate of nearly 10%. A better measure is hospitalizations. When Alberta locked down in late March, it had fewer than 40 COVID patients in hospital. Now it has more than 600, and action until now has been well short of March's lockdown. So that is now set to change. Alison Dempster has the announcement and the response, and whether it will have an impact in time to stave off disaster.
It just came in like a wrecking ball and destroyed my life.
Ashley Antonio didn't think she'd get sick with COVID-19, let alone become a long hauler. But months later, the fatigue, the brain fog, and the shortness of breath still linger.
I think people just need to know that there are a lot of us, and it can happen to you too.
An average of more than 1,700 Albertans now join the ranks of the infected every day. 2 weeks ago, the province rolled out some stricter measures, but the Premier resisted calls for a lockdown, saying he didn't want to infringe on personal freedoms. Since that announcement, Alberta has reported more than 150 deaths from the virus.
If stronger action is not taken now, we know that hundreds or potentially thousands more Albertans could die. We cannot let that happen. We will not let that happen.
Under the new measures, effective immediately, masks are mandatory in public indoor spaces across the province, not just in Calgary and Edmonton. All indoor and outdoor gatherings are banned, and starting Monday, restaurants, casinos, and hair salons will be shut down. Malls and retail businesses can stay open with tighter rules on capacity. In Calgary, some accept the need for more restrictions.
Nobody likes it, but if it's going to yield results and then bring these cases down, then I guess you do what you got to do. But not happy about it, but we're going to do our part.
I just mostly worry about small businesses and those people that would just more directly be affected.
I think it should have happened sooner. I mean, the writing was on the wall after Thanksgiving.
For some doctors and public health experts, the more aggressive measures are overdue.
There's at least tenfold, maybe much more than that, number of active cases in all of our communities right now than there were back in the spring. And so the risk is just measurably that much higher. So I think that the restrictions have to be that much broader.
So Alison, just listening to you, this is a big step in response to a big problem, but what is the plan if the cases keep coming?
Well, Adrian, as CBC News recently learned, the province has reached out to the federal government and the Canadian Red Cross for help with 4 field hospitals. Now, the Premier says that's just a contingency plan for an extreme scenario. Now, we've also learned that the Canadian military is preparing for a possible deployment of troops in the prairie provinces. A senior defense source says there's been a special focus on calling on reservists in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, just in case there is that call for assistance.
Okay, really good to know. Thank you, Alison Dempster in Calgary tonight.
Well, the situation in Saskatchewan has taken quite a turn in the past 3 weeks. Active COVID cases jumping from 2,000 to now pushing 5,000. Saskatchewan has an average of 264 daily new cases over the past week. And today, the province is reporting more deaths, more hospitalizations, and more patients in intensive care than any other day so far in this pandemic. Bonnie Allen spoke with one patient from her hospital bed.
Here we go.
After 10 days in St. Paul's Hospital in Saskatoon, this COVID-19 patient is on the mend. But Kathy Ziglow is still shocked by how quickly she became critically ill.
I went from let's get some fluids to you're going on life support. Like it just didn't even make sense to us.
The vibrant 47-year-old became infected with the virus in mid-November after her partner contracted the virus at a curling bond spill. Ziglow vomited for 5 days until public health officials told her to call 911 so paramedics could rush her to hospital.
When they said you realize that by going into the hospital as a COVID positive patient, you're putting people at risk. And I said, I'm putting myself at risk by not going to the hospital.
Within hours, she was in intensive care fighting for every breath.
I breathed and I counted and I breathed and I counted, and I got to a point where we didn't have to intubate because I knew once I got to that point I would have lost all control.
A month ago, there were 32 people with COVID in Saskatchewan hospitals. Today, that's up to 144. The health authority is prepping field hospitals and getting ready to redeploy hundreds of staff, including nurses, to cover critical care services if necessary.
They are feeling very unsure, frightened, a bit discouraged, and really quite tired.
We haven't seen the increase that we were projecting about 10 days ago. So the restrictions that we have in place right now seem to be working.
They gown up and then they come into the COVID zone.
Ziglow is in a secluded room visited only by nurses and doctors in full PPE.
They do not get the credit that they so much deserve.
Now doing much better, Ziglow hopes to get released from hospital by the end of the week. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
Health officials in Manitoba have extended restrictions to January 8th with a few exemptions. Starting Saturday, drive-in church services will be allowed, so will the sale of holiday items and school supplies. The Premier says the restrictions are beginning to make a difference, but the numbers are still too high. The province announced 245 new cases today and 13 deaths. Air Canada has announced further service cuts today in Atlantic Canada. Routes across the region will be reduced, with some losing service entirely. As Kayla Hounsell shows us, this move will hurt lots of people.
Every 2 weeks, Josh Rambo makes a cross-country trek to work at a construction site in southern British Columbia. He lives in North Sydney on Cape Breton Island. Now his commute is going to get even longer because he'll have to drive to Halifax to catch a flight.
What used to be a 20-minute drive is now a 4.5-hour drive. And that's in ideal conditions. Now, in the winter, that could take 5 hours, 6 hours.
Today, Air Canada says it is grounding all flights to and from Sydney and St. John, New Brunswick, meaning there will be no commercial air service at all. It is also reducing flights across Atlantic Canada. The airline says it is increasingly difficult to operate without specific financial support from government. All of the Atlantic provinces require visitors to isolate for 2 weeks.
This region has done a good job defending themselves through very tight restrictions, also left us vulnerable for air service cuts.
This is the third major round of cuts to air service for the region in the last 6 months. It is a massive blow that reaches far beyond the airports themselves.
Having access and accessibility to and from our island is incredibly important, not only for our continued sustainability of our island, but the growth of our economy.
Airports are hopeful the distribution of vaccines will restore consumer confidence in air travel. Josh Rambo says not making it to work is just not an option.
If that means added costs for me, less time with my family, or driving in dangerous conditions, then that's just what I have to do.
He can only hope that grounded flights are back in the air soon. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
In the Northwest Territories, pandemic restrictions are preventing people from crossing into Alberta to buy cheaper groceries. But as Anna Demaray shows us, one man sees it as an opportunity for business and community service.
On a warm Sunday morning, Ryan Shank is working out of his car. He's triple checking a list of customers who ordered groceries and fast food from his new business. Then he gets the call from Dennis Feenstra, his business partner in High Level, Alberta.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Safe travels there.
All right, man. Bye.
Okay, bud. We'll see you in a bit.
Bye.
His talk with Feenstra is his cue to start driving. They're meeting in a parking lot at the N.W.T. Alberta border. The trip is roughly 150 kilometers each way for both of them, down winding highways with nothing between their two towns. The drive is long, but worth it for both men. The bigger the order, the more people they help.
If I could make a living by helping out people, and you know what, that's exactly what I want.
Before the pandemic, people in the Northwest Territories would make hours-long trips to High Level or Grand Prairie to take advantage of lower grocery prices. But they can't do that anymore because of the N.W.T's mandatory 14-day self-isolation requirement for anyone coming back in. The products fill Shank's trunk all the way to the roof, with over $3,000 worth of groceries and fast food. The whole exchange lasts 20 minutes, then back down the highway to Hay River, where his customers are waiting. Shank arrives back in town as dark starts to set in. One of his last stops is at Tanisha Edison's house. She's a young mother of two and a cook at the local hotel. She says using this new business saves her a few $100s a month. It goes a long way for her family.
I could use that for gas for my vehicle, or just to pick up little things that I need for the house, or to get my kids some toys, or just other things that I wasn't able to afford before.
Shank leaves Edison's driveway knowing that his creative new venture is making a difference in his community during the coronavirus pandemic. Anna Demarais, CBC News, Hay River.
Well, when the pandemic hit, Canadian distillers leapt in to help make hand sanitizer.
And now some of them say they've been left high and dry.
We start seeing tanker loads of sanitizer coming into Vancouver Harbour and being distributed, and no contracts for BC companies.
Voices from the front lines.
I eventually just told her over and over again that her daughters love her. They wish that they could be here.
Nurses open up about their pandemic experience.
And desperate for hockey, folks are getting creative in Manitoba.
You can get pretty fast if you go in circles.
We're back in 2.
Welcome back. The official opposition took aim at the federal government today after a CBC News investigation tracked record-breaking spending over the first 8 months of the pandemic.
Is the CBC right to say that her government won't release the numbers and the recipients of the COVID spending data?
Ottawa didn't commit to releasing that information, which has been hard to come by since the fiscal update last month. But our series, The Big Spend, has tracked some of the $240 billion. And so tonight we focus on a group that says it has been left behind. Alcohol distillers wonder about the millions spent on imports of hand sanitizer even after they stepped up to provide it for free when Canada needed it most. Yvette Brent has their story.
When the pandemic first hit, hand sanitizer was the first to go.
We need a sustainable, stable supply of these products. And that means making them at home.
Trudeau's call to action was heard in southern BC.
This is where all the magic really happens.
A lot of hand sanitizer flowed out of Tyler Dyke's family-run distillery. The whiskey stills have been pumping it out since March.
At that moment, felt that it was our duty as a family and as distillers to kind of pivot and change away from making beautiful spirits to drink to hopefully to do something that would help keep our community safe.
The distillery gave tens of thousands of litres to hospitals, government offices, schools, nursing homes, even police and Canada Post. Dyke anticipated government compensation.
It's just, we're still waiting to hear. And so I'm still very hopeful.
Canada has paid for sanitizer from other sources. Now it's contracting big chemical producers. Canada also paid $250 million to a car company to produce hand sanitizer in China. At the same time in Grand Forks, BC, it flowed for free.
It's awesome. I get to feel like I was able to help with something that
can be really scary. Put the end in there.
Samantha Stewart's parents run this distillery. It ran 24 hours a day for 6 months to pump out sanitizer.
Weeks went by, months went by. We start seeing tanker loads of sanitizer coming into Vancouver Harbour and being distributed, and no contracts for BC companies. It was a little bit concerning.
Companies wouldn't do this to produce material without a contract. But we were in very different times, and these people thought they were going to do the right thing and help the country.
Ottawa offered no money, just a thank you. We are immensely proud of how Canadian industry has stepped up, keeping our supply chains running and helping each other in a time of need.
Extremely disappointing.
Dyke says distillers could easily make all of Canada's hand sanitizer.
If it is true that money was being spent and going offshore, that would feel like a sucker punch to the gut.
We feel abandoned. We really do.
Still, he says, no regrets. People needed sanitizer, and he was there. Yvette Brand, CBC News, Vancouver.
In our Big Spend project, we have uncovered a lot of huge numbers. Tomorrow, we capture them all in a special interactive feature. It breaks down which programs got how much of that $240 billion in spending. You can see it all at cbcnews.ca.
Now, for many, the pandemic has brought moments of grief as well as moments of hope.
Particularly for those on the front lines. 3 nurses talk with us about their hardest days and their determination to make a difference.
Plus, hockey or bust. Turns out this is the year for the backyard rink. Nurses have been among the most essential of essential workers during this pandemic. So tonight we want to turn some of the broadcast over to 3 of them to let them tell you what it's been like juggling risk, supply shortages, and their own well-being. David Common guides us through it all.
When Canada's first COVID patient arrived at Toronto's Sunnybrook Hospital in January, we knew so little and feared so much. It was Clarice Shen who cared for that man. He'd end up in the intensive care unit, and she would follow, taking on 12-hour shifts when more nurses were needed for the coming surge.
We knew that he was a suspected COVID patient. At the time, we didn't even have a name for the virus, really. We were just calling it N.W.T.
It's been a steep learning curve for a young professional who just graduated from nursing school.
They get sick really, really fast. They can present to the hospital with very mild symptoms, and they can progress very, very quickly to the point where they need to go on a ventilator.
When they're that vulnerable, the results can be almost unbelievable.
I was taking care of this patient on a ventilator, and he has this thing where his body just automatically does a little twitching motion where his teeth bite down on the ventilator, and his teeth were actually coming out. Like he had bitten off a part of his tongue and his teeth were coming out.
One of the particular tortures of COVID is that, particularly in those early days, those who died did so without family around them.
There have been instances where I've had to fill that role for patients, and even though I try my best, and it's very sad, because these are people who have lived very full, vibrant lives.
There is one patient in particular who Clarice remembers.
I'm trying to comfort this woman in her last moments, but all I can really tell her is that I love the color of her nails and that her hair is beautiful and that her daughters love her. So I eventually just told her over and over again that her daughters love her. They wish that they could be here. I just told her that over and over again until she passed.
Clarice has seen a lot of death this year, and it's taking a toll on her and her colleagues.
It's causing us some burnout for everybody because there's so many patients that are coming in with these advanced needs. Last week you had 2 COVID patients in the hospital, and this week you have like 15, and you have 6 waiting in the ER, and you have no beds in your ICU. And then you're trying to get people out of the ICU who would benefit potentially from a few more days of staying there.
Sometimes the caregivers become the infected. It happened on the job to Shay Fleming, a cardiac nurse at Calgary's Foothills Hospital.
I was one of the first people to test positive coming from my workplace. Head cold, some shortness of breath, cough, runny nose, lost my sense of taste and smell. For the most part, I couldn't get out of bed.
She's turning to yoga to center her after a 2-month fight with lingering symptoms. So significant, she's been unable to work for 2 months.
That shortness of breath and that chest tightness and heaviness has still been one of the most frustrating parts, for sure.
Not just frustrating, Shay also feels shame. However misplaced, guilt that while sick, she hasn't been able to help her colleagues.
You know, as a 29-year-old, having shortness of breath and not being able to walk a kilometer down the pathway, you know, makes you feel pretty shameful as well.
Fleming's return to work coincided with a major jump in cases in Alberta, adding to the stress.
Our ultimate goal is to care for people. And I think right now that's really difficult for us because we're trying so hard to care for these patients and do what we have always wanted to do as a nurse. But it's just, there seems to be no end in sight at this moment.
There is always more from N.W.T. She's worked abroad this year for the World Health Organization.
There you go, yeah.
And is also a street nurse to Vancouver's homeless population, loading supplies for the downtown east side, struggling with multiple challenges at once.
So the sort of twinning of the overdose crisis as well as COVID-19, and then on top of that, people are still struggling with HIV and hepatitis C and other infections.
Challenges her patients face are also starkly different than those in hospital.
Making sure if someone's homeless and we ask them to self-isolate, we have to give them the tools to do that safely. And so a big part of our early work in the first wave and now the second is finding safe places for people to self-isolate. So then I'm going to take it from the loops.
N.W.T. also trains shelter workers and community agencies.
We offer suggestions for improving infection prevention and control in those settings.
And she helped repatriate Canadians from Wuhan, China last year.
Mask part is outside.
In so doing, so too became infected, a physical toll and a mental one too, for a nurse who's called upon to work around the world.
The thing I worry about most is the impact on my family. We have 2 kids and I'm grateful to my husband to be supportive. Like I have a drawer full of letters to them just in case I don't come back. I hope that they can understand that I felt called to respond, but that I hope they stay safe.
A heavy burden with added discouragement when, for all she's seen, experienced herself, there are still those who deny COVID's dangers.
I think it's really combating the myths and rumors and investing enough in good democratic institutions and communication and really making sure the public understands their role in this.
Even in those moments of letdown, there are far more gratifying ones, she says.
It's pretty rewarding to be able to offer them a safe place to be or to just be part of a team that is treating people with respect.
One in a remarkable group of frontline workers. David Commons, CBC News, Toronto.
We head to the U.S. next and the fight for 2 Senate seats in Georgia.
Can Democrats take their election moment and turn it into a movement?
People don't want to put stickers on their cars because they're worried about having their cars keyed.
Katie Simpson takes us to a tense battleground state.
And an exclusive sneak peek at a Cross Canada Hallelujah chorus. Stay with us. The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected the latest attempt by Republicans to overturn Joe Biden's win in Pennsylvania. The same lawsuit had already been dismissed at the state level last month. But there is some drama still playing out in Georgia. That is where long-dormant Democratic Party supporters rallied to deliver the White House for Joe Biden. Now, they're hoping that momentum will help them win a special election next month. As Katie Simpson tells us, its results will help determine whether Biden will face a united or divided U.S. Senate.
Democrats in Georgia are about to find out whether their newfound base of support is reliable.
And Georgia said goodbye to Donald Trump. That was you.
A fresh test of the party's strength in the form of 2 Senate runoff races.
We have to let everybody know it's going to be close.
Democratic candidate Jon Ossoff knows he can't take any votes for granted. And while his party hopes the days of Republican dominance here are over, it is an uphill battle.
Mr. Ossoff, given that Joe Biden was able to turn this state from Republican red to Democrat blue, what kind of pressure do you personally feel if you're not able to do the same and turn this from a moment into a movement?
Well, we are turning this into a movement. I mean, look at the young people out here today sticking around in this parking lot. Y'all feel it? Yeah. We are turning this into a movement.
Yeah. To repeat the success from November, Ossoff and fellow Democratic candidate Raphael Warnock must hold on to new support in suburban communities among anti-Trump Republicans and build on the work by former gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, who mobilized hundreds of thousands of voters.
We're doing coloring books and handing out crayons for kids, and we're hoping that this will stay on parents' refrigerator until the election. This will help remind them to vote.
But the party is starting to look beyond Atlanta and its suburbs for long-term gains, venturing into deeply conservative communities.
People don't want to put stickers on their cars because they're worried about having their cars keyed, or as I had, my tire stabbed for having a Democratic bumper sticker on your car.
Latricia Jackson's family moved to Forsyth County 7 years ago, a community once known for its long history of racism and violence.
This is as bad as I've seen it in Mississippi or any other place.
There were no people of color living here until the late 1980s, and during the civil rights movement, it was considered too dangerous for leaders to visit.
John Lewis said to me, Daniel, Forsyth County was a county that me and Martin didn't go to. To know that they wouldn't come here speaks volumes to where I'm standing right now. And I don't take that for granted, not one day in my life. We're in a space.
Daniel Blackman also calls Forsyth County home. He's a Democrat running to be the state's public service commissioner.
It's not that, everything is great or that we're exactly where we need to be, but the county has made strides.
Forsyth County is now one of the fastest growing communities in the state. Its population is set to double by 2050. Jobs, the low cost of living, and good schools are the main draws. Growth that is helping Democrats.
We know we're the minority, but we know we can make strides, and bit by bit, we're just chewing at it, right? We're just trying to make that difference.
President Donald Trump won this county, but Democrats are inching closer to making the race more competitive, nearly doubling their votes from 2016 to 2020.
And in some ways, it's really a good thing, because I think that the conservatives in our county kind of just took it for granted. But the Democrats will make us work harder.
And I will say we're fighting very hard for this state.
The need to work harder comes at a complicated time. The president has attacked Georgia's governor and other prominent Republicans for refusing to overturn the election results. It's causing unwanted distractions for the Republican incumbents and stoking internal anger.
This has mostly been a red state, but it did flip to blue. Why do you think
No, it didn't. It didn't flip to blue. That's a lie. That is a total lie. It's not blue, it's red. It's red. It's not blue.
Okay, Katie, obviously a lot of emotion. Can you walk us through why these Senate races matter so much?
Voters in Georgia will determine which party controls the U.S. Senate. It will shape American policy for years to come, so the stakes could not be higher. Republicans need to win just one of the 2 seats that are up for grabs here to maintain their majority. The Senate is the most powerful legislative body in the country. It can either help the Biden administration implement its agenda, or it can hold it up. The presidential race was important, Adrian, but these 2 races are considered just as significant.
All right, Katie Simpson in Atlanta tonight. Thanks, Katie.
And from a very American face-off to a very Canadian one. The rinks may be smaller, but that's no problem. Up next, a look at the booming backyard rink business in Winnipeg. Well, a popular winter attraction in downtown Vancouver has been canceled because of the pandemic. Officials say the Robson Square ice rink will remain closed for now, following yesterday's decision from the province to extend COVID restrictions through the holidays. More than 120,000 people visit that rink each year. So with arenas and outdoor rinks closed across Canada, COVID-19 has perhaps left skaters out in the cold. So this season, the backyard DIY solution is the last best option. And as Cameron McIntosh shows us, a pretty great opportunity.
When you just want the kids outside, it's bound to happen.
One of us, I don't know who, took a slap shot and it just broke the board.
And guess what, Mom and Dad?
There's a big one over there, went straight through.
With real hockey not happening, the only actual ice Jake and Luke Mishkowski can get is the backyard.
The games, because I don't get to have that this year, and so it's like, well, at least it's something to do.
All of it. We had 3 practices a week and I got none of that now. It's a little bit different with COVID, but we get by.
They're far from the only ones. In many places, arenas are closed, outdoor rinks aren't even being flooded, making the best option to find a place to skate also the last option. Peek over the fence, an unofficial season is playing out. Do-it-yourself rinks proliferating in backyards. From simple ice slabs to Pinterest-proud ponds. Check out the light show on that one.
Then you drop a liner inside.
Jim and Tyler Stoller own Nice Rink, which sells liners, boards, kits across North America. A major Canadian retailer just came calling.
This year is anything but normal. We're easily double up right now, and just everyone's just running ragged as much as they can, nights, weekends.
Then there's Ryan Starkle. Building rinks started off as a side job to make some holiday money. Now he's flooded, literally, with full-time work.
Kind of ended up being way too much demand, and having trouble keeping up with it, to be honest.
In Winnipeg, the urge to skate is so great, the mayor had to warn against skating on thin ice, as only essential facilities operate.
Skating isn't one of them right now unless it's in a backyard rink.
Their season reduced to a frozen 12 by 10 meter bubble. Jake and Luke just figured this is where they should be.
You can get pretty fast if you go in circles.
Taking it to the pandemic and the fence. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Looks good. Up next, a familiar piece of music brought to you in a way that is oh so 2020. An exclusive sneak peek at this cross-country Hallelujah cruise. As many choirs and productions went online this year, one theater company decided not just to pivot online, but to expand all across the country. The Against the Grain Theater Company decided to record a film of Handel's Messiah, releasing it just in time for Christmas and featuring voices across Canada, and this is our moment.
We do live performing arts. Just before the pandemic hit, we were planning to revive the version of Messiah. And so we said, let's go online and see what this could look like. There's traditionally 4 soloists. And so we said, wouldn't it be interesting if we had one soloist from every province and territory? So then we said, well, wouldn't it be really cool if every soloist was either Indigenous, Black, or a person of color? We wanted to feature not just this music, but feature the individual artist and gave them liberty for those who felt comfortable to sing in their traditional language. This music has never, as far as we know, been sung in Southern Shoshone. We wanted this to be a gift during what is expected to be a very difficult time and a very weird holiday season as well.
I love when a good idea snowballs into an even better idea, into an even... And so they're Against the Grain Theater. The film is available to see, not yet, but soon online and for free, which was a very deliberate decision on their part.
It's their gift. So when you look at it, keep in mind that this was all done before the restrictions in Toronto got very, very tight. And they worked with the TSO and Toronto Symphony Orchestra, and it is gorgeous. That is a national for December the 8th. Good night.
Good night.